Woof. I am a dog, and my favorite thing in the world is cookies. I can smell them, I can see them, and all I want to do is eat them. My human family always seems to have cookies, but they never give me any. They always say no and try to take them away from me. But I am determined. I will do whatever it takes to get that delicious cookie. Today, I was sitting in the kitchen, looking up at the counter where the cookies were kept. My eyes were fixed on the biggest, most delicious-looking cookie I had ever seen. I could already taste it in my mouth. I was drooling just thinking about it. Suddenly, my human mom turned around and saw me staring at the cookie. "No, no, no," she said, shaking her head. "You can't have that cookie. It's for company." But I didn't care. I knew I had to get that cookie. So, I stood up on my hind legs and put my front paws on the counter. I was getting closer. My mom saw me and tried to shoo me away, but I was determined. I started to climb up the cupboard, my paws grasping for the edge. I was so close. Just as I was about to grab the cookie, the kitchen window suddenly exploded. A bird had flown into it, shattering the glass and sending shards everywhere. My mom screamed and ran to clean up the mess. I was startled and fell off the counter, landing on my back with a thud. The cookie was forgotten for the moment. But I didn't give up. I knew I had to get that cookie. So, I tried again. I climbed up the cupboard, my paws grasping for the edge. I was almost there when the refrigerator suddenly came to life. It started shaking and rattling, and then it started dancing. It was moving around the kitchen, bumping into things and making a huge racket. My mom and dad were laughing and trying to catch it, but it was too fast. I was distracted by the commotion, and before I knew it, the cookie was gone. My human dad had eaten it while I was watching the refrigerator dance. I was so close, but yet so far. I sat on the floor, panting and defeated. Why did these things always happen to me? Why couldn't I just have that delicious cookie? I looked up at my mom and dad, who were still laughing and trying to catch the refrigerator. "Maybe next time," they said, patting me on the head. But I knew there wouldn't be a next time. I would never give up on my quest for that cookie. And so, I sat and waited, plotting my next move. Someday, I would get that cookie, no matter what it took. Woof. But as the days went by, I realized that my attempts to get the cookie were not going to be easy. Every time I tried to climb up the cupboard, something unexpected would happen. One day, the kitchen sink suddenly started overflowing, flooding the kitchen with water. Another day, a strong gust of wind blew through the window, blowing the cookie out of my reach. It was as if the universe was conspiring against me. Despite my determination, I couldn't help but feel discouraged. I had come so close so many times, but I always ended up empty-handed. My human family seemed to be enjoying my failures, laughing and patting me on the head whenever I tried and failed. But I refused to give up. I was a dog on a mission, and nothing was going to stop me. I continued to plot and plan, trying different strategies and tactics. I even enlisted the help of my furry friends in the neighborhood, hoping that they could provide some support and guidance. Finally, after weeks of trying, I came up with a plan that seemed foolproof. I would wait until my human family was distracted, then quickly climb up the cupboard and grab the cookie. I waited patiently, my heart racing with excitement. And then, the moment arrived. My human mom and dad were busy watching TV, completely unaware of my plan. I quickly climbed up the cupboard, my paws grasping for the edge. I was almost there, when suddenly, the room was filled with a bright light. I looked up to see a spaceship descending from the sky, landing in our backyard. My human family rushed outside to see what was happening, leaving me alone in the kitchen. I was stunned, unsure of what to do. As I sat there, a group of aliens entered the kitchen, their large, round eyes fixed on me. They seemed to be studying me, trying to understand what I was doing. I barked at them, trying to scare them away. But they didn't budge. One of the aliens finally spoke, its voice a strange, high-pitched squeak. We have come to Earth to study the behavior of dogs. And you, my furry friend, are the perfect subject. I was shocked and confused. What did these aliens want with me? But before I could react, they had already started their experiments. They placed me in a strange device, and suddenly I was transported to a different dimension. I found myself in a world filled with cookies, as far as the eye could see. I was surrounded by delicious treats, and I couldn't believe my luck. I started to devour as many cookies as I could, my tail wagging with excitement. But as I ate, I realized that something was off. The cookies didn't taste quite right. They were too sweet, too salty, too everything. And then, I looked up and saw the aliens watching me, their eyes filled with amusement. They had been playing a trick on me, giving me a fake cookie paradise. I was furious, barking and growling at them. But they just laughed and patted me on the head, saying good boy and well done. I was confused and frustrated, unsure of what to do next. But as I sat there, surrounded by the endless supply of fake cookies, I realized something. Maybe the cookie wasn't the most important thing in the world. Maybe there was more to life than just getting that delicious treat. I looked up at the aliens, and for the first time, I saw them not as invaders, but as friends. They had taught me a valuable lesson, showing me that there was more to life than just chasing after something that was always out of reach. I wagged my tail at the aliens, and they smiled back at me. They seemed to understand that I had finally understood their message. As they prepared to leave, I barked at them again, trying to say thank you. They patted me on the head once more, and then they were gone, disappearing into the night sky. I was left alone in the kitchen, surrounded by the fake cookies. But I didn't feel sad or disappointed. Instead, I felt a sense of peace, a sense of understanding that there was more to life than just chasing after something that was always out of reach. I sat there for a moment, enjoying the silence of the kitchen. And then, I stood up, and started to clean up the mess that the aliens had left behind. I was determined to make the kitchen spotless, to show my human family that I was a changed dog. As I cleaned, I thought about all the adventures I had been on, all the times I had tried to get the cookie. And I realized that those adventures had taught me something valuable. They had taught me that there was more to life than just getting what I wanted. They had taught me that there was beauty in the journey, not just the destination. I finished cleaning the kitchen, and then I went to find my human family. They were sitting in the living room, watching TV. I went up to them, wagging my tail, and they smiled at me, surprised at my sudden change in behavior. Good boy, they said, patting me on the head. Well done. And in that moment, I knew that I had finally found what I was looking for. I had found a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. And it had nothing to do with the cookie.